You want to know a hack to get insurance to cover your GLP-1 prescriptions? Here's the truth. Most people get denied the first time that they try, and insurance companies are betting that you're just going to give up. But you do have rights, and you can appeal not just once, but multiple times. The problem is the process is confusing and it's time consuming, and a lot of providers just don't have the bandwidth to be able to fight through it with you. So that's why I partnered with Claimable. It's an easy to use tool that helps you build expert backed appeals proven to work. So don't give up on your shot at coverage. Exhaust your appeals. Go to getclaimable.com/plus sides to learn more and use code plus sides with a Z to save.
First and foremost, the one that just grinds my gears is muscle loss. Everybody's talking about, and I have seen doctors on some doctors on maybe commercials on my social feed say Ozempic causes muscle loss. A GLP-1 causes muscle loss. Is that just standard muscle loss because you're losing weight? It's been my personal experience that I have put on quite a bit of muscle, but I want to hear it from your two lovely ladies' mouths. Is that BS?
Is that BS? Oh, BS or not BS? That is the game. Today I've decided.
Yeah, it's crap. It's crap. It's crap.
Good.
It's crap.
Okay, good.
It's crap. Yeah.
Yes. Crap or not crap? Better.
Yeah, totally.
Better even.
I love it.
It's super interesting because I'll tell you, about 2 years ago when I was running one of my programs, which was all women physicians, I got this frantic message from one of the physicians in my group. And she said, "Oh my gosh, did you see the study? GLP-1s and muscle loss." So my programs are very heavy in the strength training and in nutrition. And so I was like, this is not a thing. I'm not worried about this. So let me tell you something. Without being on a GLP-1, if you're not strength training, and we can talk about kind of the recommendations because I'm all about minimal amount. If you're not strength training and if you're not eating adequate protein, for every pound of weight that you lose on the scale, up to 24% could be lean mass. Okay, that's without a GLP-1. So the issue is that with GLP-1s, a lot of individuals that are going into doctors who are not as savvy as Dr. Rentea, who is giving the recommendations on the protein, they're not hungry. A chicken breast doesn't sound that great. They're not eating the protein. They're not strength training. And so by default, they're having the same amount of loss as you would without one. However, we're now blaming the medication because why not?
Yeah, why not? It's nothing like villainizing something that's actually working and threatening lots of billionaires in America.
False.
And I think, Allie, you can speak to this too, but I mean, I can share literally 2 examples from this week. So it's really interesting. Both of us use in our practice body composition testing, right? So for example, and again, Allie, you can talk much more about this, but the InBody scale, there's a home version that's very accurate. And I have so many patients where let's say they think that the weight's not going down, things like that. I literally had someone this week where in the past 3 months, they lost 6 pounds of fat, put on 3 pounds of muscle. Now, again, that's not typical for everyone, but majority of my patients, in fact, all of them that are tracking, no one is ever losing maybe over, like maybe here and there, I'll have like a 10% loss. And again, it's usually someone that can't get enough calories and we have to work on that. We have to slow down the med pace. We've got to, there are steps that we have to take if that's happening. But again, majority of them, we're really getting creative with how we get the protein and we do have to work at it sometimes. Like sometimes people have different food aversions on the meds or they get sulfur burps or like different things happen. But when I'm following the data, it's astronomical how many people can maintain or gain. I didn't think it was possible until I was tracking the data. So Allie, what do you see? Because I think you've even longer than me incorporated that in your practice.
Absolutely. So the really cool thing, and again, you're going to learn this really quickly about me. I'm all about simplicity. So I'm going to give the bare minimum for everything that I know will work. So basically over the past several years, by me just recommending 100 grams of protein, and that's just over 3 servings a day. If somebody wants to fast, it's a serving and a half twice a day. So 45 grams twice a day to get to about 90. And there's studies, like there's a study on Navy SEALs that showed with their intense amount of training, as long as they're getting 100 grams of protein, they're really not losing a whole lot of muscle mass. In my practice, that's what I see. As long as I'm able to have somebody hit the 100-gram mark, I am not seeing muscle loss. And then when we add the basic minimum amount of the strength training, I'm seeing muscle gain, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
And what is your minimum amount of strength training?
So glad you asked, because
Oh, I know the answer. I know the answer. I know the answer.
I've been playing with this for years now. I've gotten it down to 10 minutes, 3 days a week. So 30 minutes a week.
Wow.
I do 10 minutes, 5 days a week now. Now it's just a kettlebell. It's nothing crazy, you know, but like,
That's great.
It counts if you'd be doing your body composition testing. So Allie knows this because I work with her, but I'm like, I've been gaining muscle with the 10 minutes 3 times a week. And in fact, if I do more hungers up, I'm losing it, but literally don't discount the kettlebell. Like it doesn't need, like, it's not insane what you're doing.
yeah, it works good for me. I like it.
like
I could do it in my office. It's very quick. Like I do it, I start my day. And it's nice to be doing something with my hands, if that makes sense. Like I find because like I'm on the internets all the time because businesses, right? And it's like it's you know when you're like when you're an advocate, like you're doing all the things in all the places,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
But if I have to stop myself. And so like if I can clean, or I also clean too, like that helps too. I just go and I'm like, I'm gonna clean everything in here. And then I just go at it. And I hate cleaning, but I love it because when I'm doing it, I'm for like letting my mind go, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of things that I feel like these are things I never did before, these medicines. But I was also just, I think just really hurt all the time, all the inflammation and the weight and the bones and the joints. And like now I have so much more mobility in general. Something one of the doctors recently we had an event, and one of the doctors mentioned like don't ever discount like your own body weight being a way to strength train, like using your own body weight. I'm not a huge fan of hers, but it was just, I thought it was very brilliant.
Yeah, it's
If
but
you
I
know,
mean,
you know.
but what about
Yeah.
but what about resistance bands? Because I have a little
Yeah.
mini stepper and it has the bands. Now,
Oh, that's cool.
so
On your
like
stepper?
that be strength training, or do you actually have to have a weight?
It's absolutely strength training. So one of the things that I do with my job, that's why I say I have like the best job in the world, is that I travel to conferences and lead mind body workouts, and they're all strength training. We don't use equipment. By the end of those 3 days, people can't walk. And
Yeah.
so I'm just, and they can't walk because I'm so energetic and I'm talking and I'm excited. So maybe I'm moving faster, but the point is this, like, this is strength training. Pushing your hands against your hands. This is strength training. This is an isometric movement. Isometric exercises have been shown to be the ones that actually increase our strength the most. So this whole concept of you need equipment, you need time. Nope, not really. So resistance bands, you're actually doing more than is required, right? You're actually adding additional resistance. So that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what I heard you say is that Mounjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, Semaglutide do not eat your muscle. That's what I heard you say.
No,
Right?
it does not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Month to month, box to box. This is how we live in the GLP-1 community. We never know when our coverage is going to get yanked from underneath us. Last year, it got yanked out from underneath me, and I had to go the compound route. I had to go to a telehealth. And what alleviated that financial burden a little bit for me was using my HSA card. I went to the hsastore.com to look for some electrolytes. ShedRx is there. ShedRx, the telehealth, is HSA approved and FSA approved. Ah! So I'm going to ShedRx, right? And I'm going to use my HSA, which alleviates a huge financial burden for me. And if you're interested as well, go to shedrx.com. They'll take great care of you. They've got fantastic doctors, and you can use the link down below in our link tree, or just go to shedrx.com and use my code CAT50. Get your $50 off your first month.